I Googled the word intermarriage and Shiva, and this blog from the Yeshiva World blog appeared. A blogger asks, does one sit Shiva the full 7 days for a child who intermarried or converted, or do they sit for a lesser number of days? Another blogger adds, that's a good question. How about for a sibling who intermarried or a parent? A third blogger contributes the following. Is it still your child? Born a Jew, always a Jew. Born your child, always your child. But why wouldn't you do the right thing for your family, whether they did the right thing or not? How does that absolve you of your obligation to your family members? Two wrongs don't make a right. If a family member goes off the derech, the path, that does not mean that they are no longer your family and you don't have to carry out your obligations towards them. The fourth blogger adds, isn't that a question for the Rebbe? Not a bunch of anonymous people on a blog? Another blog called Aish, which is a very common Orthodox website, entitled Concerned Parents. Our son is planning to marry. We are very upset and feel strongly that he's making a mistake. In the meantime, he has given us an ultimatum. Either accept her or don't have anything to do with us. We want to protest, but we don't want to alienate either of them. What should we do? The Aish Rebbe replies, this is indeed heartbreaking for you and your family. The most important thing is not to get into fights, but to remain calm and always emphasize that you love him and will always love him. Remember, he is not doing this to hurt you, he is confused. I guarantee, goes on the Rebbe, that his Jewish soul has a Jewish soulmate. He deserves it all, and he can have it. The main thing is to keep the relationship with your son strong and positive. Keep the door open so that when he starts having doubts about this woman, he will always have a Jewish home to come back to. Greetings. My name is Jack Stern, and I want to share a little bit about myself. Judy and I are the proud members of this congregation, and I've had the honor of serving as vice president and sitting on the executive committee. I'm the child of Holocaust survivors who grew up in an Orthodox home. I'm the graduate of Yeshiva University, where, before deciding to go to medical school, I seriously entertained and studied in the hopes of becoming an Orthodox rabbi. In fact, I feel familiar enough with the laws of marriage so that over the last 20 years, I have officiated at about the same number of weddings. Almost all were interfaith couples, and in 2 cases, I officiated with an Episcopal minister. My only demand is the commitment that the children be raised in the Jewish faith. To date, I know this to be true in all cases. It also pleases me to know that in 2 cases, the non-Jewish member subsequently sought conversion. Judy and I have 4 grown children, only one of whom is married. Mati, which is his nickname, is 33 years old and our youngest child. Mati is the focus of this talk. Mati, our Solomon Schechter graduate, had dated several non-Jewish women, yet I was naively convinced that one day he would ultimately choose to marry a member of our faith. Enter Melissa Thompson. And it soon became clear that this relationship with this young lady was different. This had all the appearances of a serious relationship. Now, Judy nor I never asked either Mati or Melissa about her religious affiliation. Having met Melissa's brother, Chris, we felt we didn't need to. But we were going to make damn sure that she was aware that ours was a Jewish family, and in not so subtle ways conveyed the message that we expected the next generation of our family to be Jewish as well. Judy and I invited Melissa to Shabbat dinner, holiday meals, tashlich, seder, to breakfast. She always came willingly and was genuinely interested. We never asked Melissa to join us in shul because Mati hadn't attended services since college. When they decided to marry, the idea of intermarriage was suddenly not a theoretical issue, but a very real one. But we lucked out. How did we luck out? First of all, Melissa's parents, both college math professors, practiced no formal religion. They found their spiritual enlightenment in solving quadratic equations. Melissa also shared our progressive left-leaning views of politics and a commitment to social justice. Amazingly, two other things happened. One, it turned out that Melissa's maternal grandmother was Jewish, and in fact a Holocaust survivor. This didn't become so apparent because she had been estranged from Melissa's mother. And perhaps more importantly, they committed to raising their children as Jews. But what if it were not so as it is for many other parents? What if it were different? What if Melissa and her family were practicing Catholics? What if she agreed to the presence of a rabbi, but insisted that the wedding take place in a church with her priest officiating? What if there was no commitment to raise the children Jewish, or they decided that both faiths would be practiced and the child then could choose? How would I feel? As I thought about it, I was overwhelmed with sadness and a sense of great loss. My son intermarried, or more dramatically, if he converted to another faith, would I love my son less? Could I love my son less? And most importantly, from where came the sadness and this deep sense of loss? Sadness. The answers were really pretty obvious. I was sad because I fear for the loss of the Jewish people. I was sad because I fear the loss of those values that I feel are the underpinnings of what it means to be a Jew as I understand it. I was sad because I fear that all that our people have contributed to mankind will be forgotten. I was sad because I fear that if it were not for us, what other peoples aspire to be the light unto the nations? Who else aspires to be a nation of priests? Who else believes, as Maimonides in his time, or Rav Schneerson, Cook, Soloveitchik, and Heschel in our time, that we, the Jewish people, are obliged, yes, obliged to create a better world with our non-Jewish brethren. Not in the time of the coming of Mashiach or the building of the temple in Jerusalem, but now. More than ever, I feel that the values of our Torah are being diluted, that the definitions of truth and justice are being distorted and lost. Yes, there was a time when a family would sit shiva for a child that intermarried or converted. Today, I understand that bizarre custom better. I understand that mourning is the ultimate expression of loss. I don't mean to imply that there aren't other peoples and religions who hold dear the same values, and I am sure that they cling to their values as we do to ours. But no people seems to be disappearing as quickly as ours, and I mourn that loss. Is there an answer? There is no answer other than the one that is appropriate for you. The thoughts that guide my own thinking are the following. I absolutely believe that Am Yisrael is Chai. I absolutely believe that despite the Pew report, unless humankind decides to destroy itself by war or global warming, that we will be here in 2,000 years as we have been here for the last 2,000 years. I believe that I personally have done all I can do to raise my children with the values that I hold dear. They are now adults and will make their own decisions in a world very different than the one that I grew up in. And finally, I absolutely believe that it's more important to be close than to be right. Thank you.